Good morning, Mr. Collins. This is Detective Mace from Fairfax County Police. We ask that you come down to the station. We have a body, and it appears to be connected to your wife. Listen to this story until the end for a chance to win $100 just for watching. Enjoy the video and good luck. I didn't hit replay right away. At first, I just sat there on a kitchen stool, staring at a white wall where a Joke-A-Day calendar used to hang. Then I played again and again. By the fourth time, I was laughing. Not because it was funny, but because my brain, like the rest of me, had grown too tired to be surprised. My name's Mark Collins, 55, divorced in spirit, still legally married. I work as a construction compliance consultant, in case anyone's asking, though around here, no one's asked anything for years. I grabbed the jacket I usually wear to tax audits, the kind that says, "I'm respectable, but I've stopped caring." Got in my car. The engine groaned like it always does, then started, reluctantly. Like me, while driving, I thought of her, Claire. She used to love hot cocoa with marshmallows and talking to herself out loud. Used to draw little patterns on the mirror after showers. Then, little by little, she started to disappear. First from conversations, then from the house, then from me, the police, a body, her car. I should have panicked. Instead, I felt something almost familiar, like watching a movie you've seen before, but you stick with it just to see exactly how the main character dies this time. The cop at the front door didn't even look at me, just nodded. "Collins? Third floor. They're expecting you." That word always sounds heavier than it should, like there's a jury behind the door, not two tired detectives who'd rather be eating lunch. Detective Mace looked just like he sounded on the voicemail, like life had chewed him up for 40 years and left a few bites for later. The other one was younger, nervous, tapping his pen on the desk like he had a clinical allergy to silence. "Mr. Collins," Mace started. "The body was found in an abandoned house just outside the city. No ID, but we found a set of car keys in the pocket. They match a vehicle registered to your wife." "Is that her car?" I nodded. "Gray Ford Edge, bit scratched on the left side. We bought last year. It's in her name." "You've seen her recently?" "She said she was going to her mom's place in Missouri 5 days ago. Packed her suitcase without a word, like she always does. Said she needed to reset." "You believed her?" I smirked. "Detective Mace, if I believed every word Claire said in the last 2 years, I'd be waiting for her in Vegas right now, holding a balloon and a best husband ever cake." He didn't blink. The younger one stopped tapping. "Do you have reason to believe something's wrong with her?" That question felt clearer than my morning coffee. "I've had reason to believe something's wrong with our marriage since 2019, I said. "Specifically, the day she started locking her phone every time I walked into the room." "Do you think she might have vanished on purpose?" "If Claire vanished to start a new life, yeah, that would track. But if that body's actually her, that's different. Claire doesn't leave without making a final scene." The two detectives exchanged a look, and I thought to myself, they have no idea who they're dealing with. But I do. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if she called from Thailand in 3 days and said this whole thing was an experimental performance. I stood up. "So what now?" "You're not under arrest," Mace said. "But we'd prefer if you stayed in town. And if anything comes up about Claire, give us a call." "Of course," I nodded. "If I see her, I'll ask whether it's her in the crime scene photo." I walked out of that station not with fear, not with rage, but with a strange kind of peace, like a quiet confirmation that something was finally happening. Because you know what the worst part of our marriage was? Not the lies, not even the betrayal. It was the silence. And now, that silence was broken, and someone, somewhere, was about to regret it. I got back home at 3:40 p.m. Normally around that time, Claire would be sitting on the couch, scrolling through Pinterest or texting someone she casually referred to as the designer. Now, the living room was quiet. Too quiet and too clean. That, more than anything, raised a red flag. Claire wasn't messy. No, she was too polished for that. But she always left traces. A half-full mug. A notepad. Her scratched-up phone left charging on the counter. Now it felt like she had vacuumed herself out of existence. I sat at the table and flipped open my old laptop. Claire had a separate email account she never bothered locking. Maybe she was too confident or too careless. I typed in her login. Password, married life 2011. I let out a dry laugh. Not irony, not pain, more like despair pretending to be sarcasm. The inbox opened. Nothing obvious. Too clean again, like someone wiped it all down with bleach and denial. But I knew how to look deeper. I clicked on archive. One message. Just one. From Jared. No subject. No greeting. No te me estam. Just. It'll be quick. I've set it up. Don't mess this up, please. This time we do it clean. I read it 3 times. Then a 4th, to make sure I felt something. What exactly did he set up? Do what clean? The puzzle was snapping together, painfully. Claire had said she needed space more than once in the past month. She'd ordered a massive suitcase for a short trip. She'd casually asked me to update her life insurance policy, just in case. Back then, I didn't connect the dots. Now, the dots were bleeding together. Jared. I opened Facebook. His profile was public, because of course it was. Shirtless selfies. Client photos. A home interior brand called Design Your Haven. One image stood out. He was posing inside a downtown apartment, showing off custom lighting. And behind him, clear as day, was our lamp. Not a similar one. Our actual lamp. The rare one we bought in Chicago 3 years ago. I zoomed in, confirmed it, and then checked the post date. 2 days before Claire left for Missouri. I didn't feel fury. Not heartbreak. Not even confusion. Just a sudden, heavy calm, like the top layer of an iced-over lake. I wrote down the address from the post. It said, New Downtown Project. Love my clients. This wasn't a project. It was a hiding place. I got in the car, hands on the wheel. No trembling. No tears. Just one thought on repeat. Did they do something together? Or is one of them playing the other and using me as a pawn? The building was classic fake stone, the kind that screams money but smells like hollow ambition. A plaque read, Design Your Haven. Jared really did work here. I didn't bother ringing the bell. Some random tenant buzzed me in, no questions asked. 2nd floor. Glass doors. Empty inside. I stood there for a moment. Looked around. Noticed a file on a coffee table. On the front, Colleen B. Not Claire, but close enough. I didn't open it. Because once you start reading someone else's secrets, you can't unread them. I walked out. That night, I sat alone in the kitchen. No lights. No music. Just me, the dark, and a mind arranging thoughts like dominoes. She vanished, but left a body behind. Not her own. His things were in our home. Her words, recycled from some self-help blog on manipulation. I wasn't a husband anymore. I was a role, a setup, a footnote. I poured myself a glass of whiskey. No ice, no toast, and said out loud, I don't know which one of you lied more, but I know one thing. I'm still here, and I'm done playing your script. I don't trust banks. Never have. But there's one thing I trust even less. Unexplained transactions made under my name. So that morning, I called someone I hadn't spoken to in 8 years. Her name's Dana. Ex-colleague. Ex-friend. Ex-everything. The last time we talked, she said I had emotional frostbite. I told her she had the soul of a calculator. It was love, obviously. She picked up on the 3rd ring. Mark? Oh, Donna. Don't hang up. Pause. Give me one reason. Claire's gone. Police called me about a body. And I think someone's using our joint account for something off. That got her attention. Another pause. Then, you still bank with Norel Union? Yeah, give me an hour. By noon, I was parked outside her office. Dana hadn't changed much, sharp, fast-talking, with eyes that looked like they'd seen too much and judged every bit of it. You look terrible, she said. Thanks, I replied. You look exactly like someone who'd say that. She grinned, just for a second, then got down to business. Here, she said, sliding over a printout. Joint account activity. Past 90 days. I skimmed through it. Hotel charges in another city. Expensive home decor stores. A wire transfer, $17,000, to a name I didn't recognize. Elena Morris. Who the hell is Elena? I muttered. Dana raised an eyebrow. I was hoping you'd know. I didn't, but I'd be finding out. Wait, I said, squinting at one transaction. This store? Haven Interiors. That's Jared's company. I saw it on his Instagram. Dana narrowed her eyes. Then your wife wasn't just cheating, Mark. She was investing. We sat in silence. Why now? She finally asked. Why come to me? I stared at the window, watching a bird peck at something on the sidewalk. Because I don't trust anyone anymore. And because you never liked Claire. Donna lift. Out loud this time. You're damn right I didn't. Back in the car, I searched for Elena Morris on my phone. Took 20 minutes to find a match. A small business license filed last year. Address listed as a co-working space on the outskirts of town. I drove there without thinking. The place looked like any other startup hub. Modern furniture, fake plants, generic optimism. I walked in, asked for Elena. The girl at the front desk didn't blink. She's not here today, but you can leave a message. No need, I said. I'll come back. I walked out into the parking lot and sat in the car, engine off, brain running hot. Elena Morris, Claire's new identity? Or someone she paid to cover her trail? Either way, she wasn't running. She was planning. And I was done reacting. I pulled out a notebook, started writing. Claire said Missouri. No plane tickets found. Jared's apartment had our lamp. $17,000 to someone I don't know. Claire disappeared, exactly when the insurance policy was updated. And the police? Still quiet. I flipped to a new page. At the top, I wrote one word, strategy. That night, I went back home and did something I hadn't done in a long time. I cooked, not to eat, to think. The smell of onions and garlic always helped clear my mind. Claire hated it, said it made the house smell too alive. Maybe that's what bothered her most about me. I refused to die quietly. The phone rang at 11:43 p.m. Unknown number. No name. No boy thimed. I let it go. It rang again. Same number. And this time, something made me answer. Hello. Silence. Then breathing. Soft. Steady. And then, her. Mark. I didn't say anything. My fingers clench around the phone. I knew that voice. Knew the calm panic it always carried. She sounded like she was trying to sound calm, which meant she wasn't. Mark, I can't talk long. I looked at the screen. Caller ID, Jared Preston. Of course. I sat down. Didn't respond. Let her keep going. I need you to listen. I'm safe. I'm not in trouble, but they think I'm someone else. And I can't come back yet. Not now. I exhaled. Not from relief, but from fury disguised as patience. You stole $17,000, I said flatly. She went quiet. I know about Elena Morris. I added, and the furniture, and Jared, and the body. Her breath hitched, just for a second. Then she said quietly, you were never supposed to be involved. I stood up and walked to the kitchen. The lights were off, just like I liked it now. Darkness was cleaner than anything she ever left behind. Claire, I said, is it really you? Pause. Yes. Then tell me why Jared's name is on your call. Why the police think you're dead. And why you're not being in trouble. Sounds like a hostage blinking twice in a press photo. She didn't answer, but she didn't hang up either. Then she whispered, you need to forget this. Walk away. Let it go. I laughed. For real this time? Walk away? After all this? After you dragged me through fire with a blindfold and called it marriage? Still no answer. Then, just before the line cut, Mark, if you follow this, they'll come for you too. Click. I stood there, phone still pressed to my ear, screen black. Her voice still ringing. Not the words, just the tone. It wasn't fear. It wasn't regret. It was a message. I've already made my move. Your turn. I sat at the kitchen table and stared at the wall. If she was calling from Jared's phone, either he was part of this or she had done something to him. And if there was one thing I knew about Claire, she never left loose ends. The next morning, I drove back to Jared's so-called studio. It was locked, but something was different this time. On the door, barely visible, was a smudge. Red, like someone had wiped something off quickly. I checked the hallway, quiet. No security cameras. Of course not. I called Detective Mace. When he picked up, I didn't bother with pleasantries. She's alive, I said. Claire. She called me. From Jared's phone. Silence. Then, are you absolutely sure? Her voice. Her words. Everything. We'll send a car. No, I said quickly. Don't tip her off. She's playing something big. I don't know what. But I know this. I'm not your suspect. I'm your damn witness. He sighed. You're walking a dangerous line, Collins. Yeah, I replied. Welcome to my marriage. That night, I couldn't sleep. Instead, I pulled out that same notebook. Wrote 4 names across the top. Claire, Jared, Elena, me. Under each one, I wrote what I knew, what I suspected, what I feared. Under me, I wrote nothing. Because the truth was, I didn't know anymore who I was in this story. The victim? The fool? The last man standing? Or just another pawn in Claire's masterpiece? But one thing I knew, she made a move. I would too, and mine wouldn't be clean. The report came 2 days later. I got it through Dana. She still had her connections. The body in the abandoned house? Male. Burned beyond recognition, but dental records confirmed it. Jared Preston. Not Claire. Not a stranger. Him. I didn't speak for 3 full minutes. Just sat there, holding the folder, staring at a name I barely knew, and yet suddenly knew too much about. Cause of death, blunt force trauma, then fire. Estimated time of death, 2 days before Claire left for Missouri, which, coincidentally, was the same day she asked me to sign the updated life insurance policy. There it was, in black and white, cold, legal, deadly. She had set him up, or he had threatened to expose her, or both. There was no note, no closure, just silence. I met Dana again. This time, I didn't say much, just showed her the folder. She whistled under her breath. Your wife's either dead, missing, or a genius with a criminal record waiting to happen. Or all of the above, I muttered. Do you think she killed him? I shook my head. I don't think Claire kills with her hands. She kills with the idea, and lets the rest happen on its own. I went back to Jared's office one last time. The landlord had already cleaned it out, painted the walls, removed the sign. No blood, no signs of a struggle, just a faint smell, something burned, something chemical. And there, tucked into the gap of the window sill, I found a note. Folded, small, yellowed from the sun. It had one sentence. Don't try to find me. This isn't your story anymore. No name, no date, but I knew the handwriting. I brought it home, pinned it on the fridge. Like a joke, like a ghost, like a warning. And for the first time in years, I cleaned out the garage, donated the couch she picked, took down our photos, sold the car. Everyone thought I was grieving. They said things like, you must miss her terribly. You're strong for going through this. If you ever want to talk. I didn't. I was done talking, done chasing, done pretending I was part of something sacred. The police closed the case. Unsolved but inactive. Claire became a name on a file. Jared, a photo with black marker over his face. And me? I became something else. Not better, not healed, but aware. Aware of how easy it is to build your life around someone who's using it as a stage. Aware of how silence isn't safety, and how trust, real trust, should never come without questions. Months passed. Sometimes I think I see her in crowds. A flash of red hair, a perfume note I recognize, but it's always someone else. And yet, part of me hopes she's out there. Not because I want her back, but because I want her to know I didn't break. She left a mess, but I didn't step in it. I cleaned it, labeled every piece, and walked away. Last night, I wrote one final note in my notebook. They buried the wrong person, but I still gotta bury the lie. To enter the $100 giveaway, simply comment the word story, like the video, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Next week, I'll pick a winner from the comments using a randomizer tool. Good luck!